Today, a critical Siemens operating system update with a 9.8 severity score. Google takes legal aim at an AI-enabled phishing as a service crew. And a look at the GitHub Actions attack pattern your CI scanners may be missing. Here's what changed, why it matters, and what defenders should do next. Welcome to your cybersecurity briefing. We focus on operational signal over noise, turning headlines into concrete steps you can take right now to reduce risk. First, Siemens SINEC OS before version 4.0 contains multiple high-severity vulnerabilities affecting the RUGGEDCOM RST2428P, model 6GK6242-6PA00. Siemens has released a new version and recommends updating to the latest available release. These issues carry a CVSS v3 score of 9.8 and include classes such as improper restriction of operations within memory bounds, improper resource shutdown or release, and integer overflow conditions. Why this matters: a 9.8 rating signals critical impact. Flaws in memory handling and resource management can lead to instability, unexpected behavior, or system compromise, raising the risk to environments that rely on this equipment. The Defender takeaway: immediately inventory any RUGGEDCOM RST2428P running SINEC OS earlier than 4.0 and plan an expedited update to the vendor's latest version. Ensure device management interfaces are not exposed to untrusted networks. Enforce strong authentication for administration, and monitor for anomalies on management and control traffic during and after the update window. Backup configurations beforehand and validate segmentation so only approved management hosts can reach these devices. Next, Google is suing a group identified as Outsider Enterprise, which it says operates on Telegram and sells phishing as a service. According to the legal filing, the group provided instructions on using Google's Gemini to generate convincing impersonation websites, including lookalikes for Google, YouTube, and government services such as New York's E-ZPass, and offered nearly 300 scam templates. Google also worked with major U.S. carriers to block many malicious text messages associated with these campaigns. The company notes its on-device scam detection in Google Messages intercepts about 10 billion scam texts each month, which likely reduce some of the group's reach. Why this matters: AI-enabled tooling and turnkey templates further lower the barrier to running large-scale phishing operations, especially across SMS and chat channels, where users often trust links and act quickly. Even non-technical actors can launch credible brand impersonation lures at scale. The Defender takeaway: assume SMS and mobile messaging are active phishing vectors. Enable carrier and device-level spam protections across managed mobile fleets, and monitor for suspicious activity on those channels. And include smishing in user training in simulated exercises. Implement rapid takedown workflows for brand impersonation domains. Deploy DNS and web filtering to block newly registered and high-risk domains, and enforce multi-factor authentication so credential theft alone doesn't grant access. Monitor for spikes in inbound reports of suspicious texts, and coordinate with carriers to share indicators promptly. Finally, a new analysis highlights a GitHub Actions attack pattern that commonly evades traditional CI security scanners, underscoring that passing a scan does not guarantee a secure pipeline. The discussion focuses on attack chains that move through workflow configuration, triggers, and third-party actions to achieve code execution and secret access despite clean scanner results, and offers guidance on better governance of CI/CD workflows. Why this matters: CI/CD is part of your software supply chain. If attackers can subvert a workflow, they can run arbitrary code, exfiltrate secrets, tamper with build artifacts, or pivot into cloud environments, often without tripping the checks many teams rely on. The Defender takeaway: treat workflow configuration as code with strict governance. In GitHub, minimize the GitHub token scope and default permissions, granting write only where required. Pin all actions to immutable commit SHAs, not floating tags. Restrict or review triggers such as pull request and workflow dispatch, especially from forks, and require approvals for reusable workflows. Protect main branches, require status checks, and gate deployments with environments and reviewers. Store secrets outside the repo, prefer short-lived credentials with OIDC, and audit logs for anomalous workflow changes or execution paths. Complement CI scanners with policy as code and continuous monitoring of workflow metadata. That's the roundup. If this helped you prioritize action, subscribe, hit the bell, and share it with your team. Drop a comment with what you're patching or tightening this week. and we'll keep tracking the operational details that matter most.